Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Emerging Franchise Brands Podcast. I'm your host, Frank Fiume, here live at the IFA2024 National Convention, and looking forward to interviewing some folks at this year's event. I've got my friend Max Emma from Booxkeeping here. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
Yeah, really good to see you. So, Max, last time we left off, we had our podcast episode. I know it's going to be airing really soon, actually, here next few weeks. So tell me, what's been the latest and greatest with Booxkeeping?
Well, we signed up about 15 more franchise brands as the supplier to the industry because we do bookkeeping for now 98 franchise brands, and then we sold one more franchise because we're also a franchisor. So it's been very exciting. We have about 4 or 5 in the pipeline. So it's been very busy but wonderful times.
That's awesome. That's great. So how many IFAs have you been to now?
This is my 7th.
Your 7th. Do they get better and better? Like, what's the goal for this IFA event?
So for this IFA, the plan is to walk away with about 25 to 30 new franchise brands that we're going to be doing bookkeeping for, and meet new people and actually saying hi to old friends like you.
Max, I remember when we did our podcast episode, again, it hasn't aired yet, it's going to be coming out soon. I remember you telling me that your first IFA and you had a booth and nobody knew who you were, of course, and you committed to it and you said, I'm coming back the next year. And then what was that experience like in that second year?
So second year, some people were like coming back and saying, oh, we saw you last year, okay, let's talk. And we maybe got 3 or 5 brands signing up with us, and the next year more and more. And we had a couple deals that, we got a few years later. So I9 Sports, you might have heard about this company.
I think I've heard the name.
Yeah, so they actually took 2.5 years to sign the contract, and now we do bookkeeping for about 60 or 70 of them.
What took them so long?
I don't know, because I guess they were just checking if I'm coming back or not, which is great. You know, I believe this is the right way to do it, because I see a lot of companies showing up one time, not getting traction, and disappearing.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your tenacity and commitment to it. The IFA, I know we talked about this, it's such a generous community and people share so much. I'm curious, I'd love for you to share with the audience a little bit about what the difference is between Booxkeeping and the other services that are out there, because there are other bookkeeping services that are available to them. What makes you guys different?
So we are definitely using technology, and every year it takes less and less time to do bookkeeping. So instead of fighting it, we're embracing it. And instead of keeping our rates the same, we're lowering our rates. So because, for example, 3-4 years ago, it might have taken us 5 hours to do it, to do bookkeeping for somebody. Now it takes 2.5. So all it means for me, we can do 2 clients for the same price. And so we're passing on the savings to our franchisors and their franchisees, which I think is a fair thing to do. And a lot of our competition, they're just keeping prices the same.
Well, that's great. If I was a potential franchisor, right, and I was looking to franchise my concept, there's a piece of advice that you'd give me before I franchise, what would you say?
So do your homework and pick your suppliers and your consultants very carefully, because there are a lot of people that, in my opinion, shouldn't be consultants in the industry, because I got some wrong advices, and I'm not gonna go and naming names. It's on me. So they got me, good for them, but just now be very careful. Like, do your homework, call and get some references before you follow somebody's advices. There are a lot of different options. Most of them are really, really good. Just make sure you are doing your homework. That's all I want to say.
Max, it's great advice. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you, Frank. Always a pleasure.
Thank you for tuning into the Emerging Franchise Brands Podcast. For additional insights, guest applications, and to stay connected, visit us at efbpodcast.com. The Emerging Franchise Brands Podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent those of Emerging Franchise Brands, its host Frank Fiume, or Emerging Franchise Group, LLC.
Any discussed franchise or investment opportunity requires thorough investigation, obtaining proper disclosure documents, and expert consultation before making any investment decisions. The podcast and its hosts do not offer professional advice or endorsements, and they hold no responsibility for actions, representations, accuracy, or consequential damages related to the podcast content.